Hello guys, and welcome back again to the channel. Hope you all are doing well. So on today's video, I would like to show you guys a mix I did 4 years ago and obviously show you guys what I could have done differently if I was mixing it today to make it sound better. Just before we dive right in, I would like to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, which is Dossier Perfume. Dossier make awesome replica perfumes inspired by renowned perfumes around the globe. So this one is Amber Sage, which is a new one that I'm currently checking out. So I'll obviously show you guys the website now, but definitely go ahead and check them out and you will not be disappointed. So here we are inside the door, guys. Let me go ahead and play this mix a little bit and then I'll show you guys what I could have done to improve it if I was mixing it today. The first thing first, obviously, I've actually changed one thing on the vocals, because when I mix this, I use the UAD version of Autotune Real-Time Advanced, but because I've not got my Apollo plugged in, so it has obviously been disabled. So I've just quickly replaced it with Antares Autotune Access, but nothing much. So this is exactly the mix as I delivered it. So let's have a listen.
Were injured in the attack.
So obviously when I listened to it the other day, I noticed a couple of things. First is the drum, the kick is not, as rounded as I would like a hip hop track like this to be. The same thing with the bass. There's obviously a clashing frequency between the kick and the bass that I didn't quite resolve as I would have. So the next one is the vocal. The level seems like it's a little too high, maybe by a dB or a dB and a half. And also the effects that I used on it felt like they are not, embedded in as I would like anyway. But overall, it sounds good, just that it's not as I would have done it if I was mixing it today. But the key thing is that low end, because that low end will obviously now let the vocal to sit clear, as well as this melody. I feel like it's on top of our vocal as well. So that sample melody is also on top of the vocal. So let's start with the first thing that I would have done, which is the kick. So this kick, I would have gone ahead and beefed it up if I was mixing it today. So let's just listen to it and I'll do what I would have done to it. So I feel like it still needed a lot more sub lows, like sub frequencies. So first thing I would have done is throw on a Pultec. Any Pultec obviously would do here. Target 60 or 100. I'll probably go for 60. Let's just add 3 dB there. So this move is what I could have done if I was mixing it today. Then the next move will be to add some sort of more saturation, which Spectre will give us nicely, to just make that sub low to stand out a bit more. these two moves is what I could have added to this kick if I was mixing it today to make it sound more rounded. So the next one is the bass, which we will listen together with the kick. So this is obviously an 808. So I feel like that 808 and the kick, there's no much clarity. Even though I tried to do it with an EQ, carve out space for the kick and obviously accentuate the bass around the upper frequency, just where the kick sits. But I feel like if I was mixing it today, the cleaner way to do it would be use Suit 2.
Yeah, boy.
So this is obviously Jason Joshua's way of doing kick and bass sidechain. So let's just remove these bands. Change this to hard. Bring the sharpness down. Increase this. So the key thing obviously is to make sure that on the sidechain that we are sidechaining it to this kick. So I can go ahead and create a boss that we're going to use for this. Let me just do boss 17. No output. And then just name it kick sidechain. We can even do this pre if we want. And now put this to that boss 17. This sidechain button needs to be engaged. Let's go ahead and have a listen. So the way I'm listening to it now, I hear a lot more separation between the two compared to when this suit was not there. So this does not only get us obviously a lot more clarity around the low, but it can actually now help us to push this a bit further because we will be saving on headroom. Because when the two are hitting at the same time, that will basically eat up headroom. You cannot hear it clearly, but will also add to the level. But because now they are not hitting at the same time, means the level will not be as high as it used to. And also we can actually now push it a bit more further if we want, but I'll not go ahead to push it. I like as it is. Let's just have a listen to it with those two moves. So this is obviously little moves, but I feel like it has improved this mix overall. Then another thing that I would have done is this. I could have sidechained it to our lead or even sidechain all music, this boss. Yeah, either I sidechain all this or sidechain just that. This is the key one that obviously eats up that headroom, but I could do it on here. Let's just use track space actually for that one. So let's look for the boss where our all vocals are. So our all vox is boss 24. Let's now go ahead and sidechain this to boss 24. Let's have a listen. So something like this has obviously helped the vocal also to come out, which means I can even pull this vocal down because I feel like the vocal is about a dB loud. So I can actually now turn it down a dB and still be able to hear it clearly because what was masking it has obviously been carved out. So just these 4 moves I think we've done. That is what I could have done differently if I was mixing this mix today. Obviously, there are other ones I could have done on the vocals independently, like the effects choices or the EQ moves, or obviously the compression choices. But overall, I quite like, the texture that I got, which maybe the effects that we will use differently could have improved it even further. But the key thing is these 4 moves that we've done, which I feel like is what could have obviously elevated this mix further. So let's just go ahead and recap what we did. First thing is obviously, sidechaining with suit, the bass and kick for clarity. Then the next one is the kick, making it sound rounder by adding the Protec EQ and the Spectre saturation. Then the third one is obviously on all music, adding this track spacer to create space. Then the last one is this vocal, the lead, having to pull it down a dB because what was masking it has been carved out. Because what tends to happen is because all this music, especially this particular sample melody, was masking the vocal, means I was obviously now pushing it further up so I can hear it clearly. But the problem is not the level, rather is the masking. Do you get what I mean? Now that we've obviously gone ahead to use track spacer to pull out this whenever the vocal is on, we did not have to push it higher than it should be. So I hope this is helpful, guys. If you enjoy content like this, be sure to like and subscribe, and also give the video a like and give it a hype, because liking this video and leaving a comment actually help the YouTube algorithm to send this to more people. So, and also be sure to join my membership where I do exclusive mix breakdowns and other special perks for members only. If you would like me to mix your record, DM me, follow me at IG Zany Pro 1, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.